Titans, welcome to CSUF News. I'm Dominic Samaniego.
And I'm Olivia Morales, coming to you from our broadcast studio in Southern California.
Cal State Fullerton recently closed the Women and Adult Reentry Center. The closure happened unexpectedly at the expense of students and faculty. Earlier, I had the chance to visit the center and investigate this issue. For the past couple of years, since its opening in 1972, the Women and Adult Reentry Center has been offering essential services. But now it lies unoccupied like a ghost town.
I was more so just kind of disappointed because it was kind of like the bare minimum, I feel like, having it there.
According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, among undergraduate students, 26% of females and 6% of males experience rape or sexual assault and/or incapacitation. Sexual assault on college campuses is pervasive. CSUF has a gender distribution of 41% male and 58% female. With a female-majority campus, more women are susceptible to crimes such as sexual assault or rape, making the demand for resources like the Women's Center greater than ever. Izzy Manigault isn't the only student frustrated with the university's decision to remove the historical center. Second-year student Lauren Jarvis shares a very similar sentiment.
Those resources are so big and they're so important to the population here on campus. And even though those resources still exist, they exist in different parts of the campus and they're not as easily accessible as they used to be when they were a part of the Women and Adult Reentry Center.
Jarvis is among many students who believe in the positive influence a space like the Women and Adult Reentry Center has on female students. According to the Daily Titan, the resources from the Women and Adult Reentry Center are being distributed to various departments on campus. However, not all services will be provided, leaving students who require these specific services still in dire need. The closure leaves faculty who specialize in social justice issues frustrated.
I understand they're saying that those services will continue, but in different places. But I think having it be decentralized like that, it loses the kind of intimacy and sense of community that a women's center can have.
There's a lot of speculation about what the center is going to be turned into, whether or not be an indigenous center or a transfer center. For now, many believe the significant solution to this problem be an increase in funding overall. Until then, this is Dominic Samaniego, CSUF News.
Thank you, Dominic. Titans got a chance to appreciate diversity on campus at the Intertribal Students Council's Spring Celebration.
Mahealani Wu reports on the event from the Quad.
Yesterday, March 20th, marked the first day of spring. I'm here on campus at the Intertribal Council's Spring Celebration. It's a beautiful day to be celebrating the change of seasons and new beginnings.
From 11 to 4, the school is making space for Native voices and vendors, and that includes some of our own students.
As someone who is, so to speak, a child of many descendancies, mostly indigenous people by way of Africa and Turtle Island, I think it's important for people to be involved on their campus and just in the world in general when it speaks to honoring culture and their ancestors and coming together and what that looks like.
Students are gathering in front of the Pollock Library to learn how the Native and Indigenous community honors the spring equinox.
It makes me feel good. I want to see more because I definitely I don't see much of Native American culture around me, so it's definitely nice to be surrounded by it.
I feel that the opportunity of the university to let us in and come in, I think I feel grateful because I'm able to show the students, show everyone that comes around about art, the meaning, or if they have any questions about anything, like for example today.
Whenever you want to check
Closing out with a lesson from the medicine drum. This marks the end of the Intertribal Student Council's first spring celebration. I'm Mahealani Wu with CSUF News.
Thank you, Mahealani. The Cal State Fullerton Police Department is facing staff shortages and is currently hiring individuals to fill open positions.
The shortages are a pressing issue for the police department and the student population. Here's Mario Leal with the report.
Since the start of the 2022 semester, the Cal State Fullerton Police Department has been facing one of their biggest issues, staff shortages. These shortages are starting to affect the daily operations of Cal State Fullerton's police department.
Well, we just can't do as much as we'd like to. We're still very efficient. We're still very safe. That we never get to a point where we're not safe. We're down a community service or our crime prevention officer, which runs the CSO program. So I'm kind of overseeing that right now. Instead of 3 detectives, we have 2 detectives full time right now. So there's other areas that we can kind of take from to add to that. But the more we have, the better.
Fewer detectives, officers doing double shifts, low budget, low salaries. All these obstacles have impacted our campus police, leading to a very important question. How safe do Cal State Fullerton students feel around campus?
I feel very safe on campus. I always see a lot of campus security or people walking around checking up on things.
I feel pretty safe. I don't really see much officers around, but just the environment, I feel pretty safe with people around that I know.
Whether it is the double shifts or the need for more officers on campus, the staff shortages our police department is facing are started to get noticed by students. With disputes over the budget still in the air, time will tell if our campus police will get the staff they need. Reporting for CSUF News, I am Mario Leal.
Thank you, Mario. Coming up next, Cal State Fullerton announces new plans to build more housing for students.
And an online petition has raised eyebrows among students. We will have all that covered after this commercial break.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it, so do your part and stay home. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit social gatherings. If you need essential items like food and medicine, try using a delivery service. If you must leave your house for essential items, or if you want to take a walk for exercise, make sure to wear a cloth face covering. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Try not to touch frequently touched surfaces like light signals, street signs, or benches. And wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so stay home unless absolutely necessary. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back, Titans. In July 2020, CSUF Student Housing Phase 4 plans were approved by the CSU Board of Trustees.
Luis Vizcaíno gives us a recent update on what has been done in the 2 years since its approval. Let's take a look.
California State University Fullerton has had a commuter reputation for years. The small campus is home to the largest student body out of the CSU system. However, in recent years, the university's administration has begun planning and implementing a project to turn that reputation around. The final campus master plan is a 19-year plan to transition the student body from commuters to living on campus. The new housing under construction behind the College of Engineering Computer Science is a part of the plan. The housing aims to add 600 beds by August 9th, in time for the start of the fall 2022 semester. The current state of housing around the university makes it difficult for students to find affordable housing. Many students also pay tuition out of pocket, meaning that housing is out of the question.
That's the only reason I don't house is because I don't have the money, so I'm paying for my school out of pocket and with loans.
However, even with the growing focus on living on campus, students that currently live on campus have issues to be resolved. One of the biggest problems that has plagued CSUF for years is parking. With increasing residents, parking is bound to become scarcer, and students want solutions.
I've heard that a lot of students are trying to protest and come up with petitions to make more parking and to make it accessible for residents.
As the smallest campus in terms of physical space, CSUF has a lot of work to do to accommodate new residents, but it's a change worthwhile to many. Though new issues may arise and old ones get stronger, the university is set on welcoming more residents. In Cal State Fullerton, I'm Luis Vizcaíno, CSUF News.
Wow, 19 years is a long wait, but the fall semester is right around the corner. Come August, we'll see if housing reaches its goals to implement 600 more beds.
It will be an interesting transition to see CSUF go from commuter to residential school. Lastly, we have Gabriela Perez, who investigates what students' stances are on having a completely online semester.
Well into Cal State Fullerton's 2022 spring semester, an ignored petition pleading an extension for online instruction demonstrates the parallels between the administration and the student body. Over 4,000 signatures have been collected for a petition to extend the spring semester 2-week virtual instruction delay to the entirety of the spring semester. The signatures went to waste as virtual instruction was not extended and the students' concerns were ignored by the administration. The last update to the petition was from the creator in February, thanking people who supported the petition and asking them to email the petition to the Cal State Fullerton Dean or President's office. Third-year student at Cal State Fullerton, Carla Nava, shares her opinion.
Well, I think he should care more about it because we need to stay like COVID. You never know what happens, so it'd be easier if we do Zoom classes instead.
Carla would have signed the petition had she known about it. Zoom classes are more fitting to her schedule, as it's easier for her to balance school and work. During the 2-week online instruction delay, COVID cases were at an all-time high in Orange County. The anxiety and stress of having to return to campus with no other option was at its peak. Third-year student at Cal State Fullerton, Sebastian Peña, shares his opinion.
It's just not fair to the students, especially they're paying thousands of dollars and they can't even have the option of choice anymore. And they're forced to go online. Now they're forced to go back in person. It's like you gotta work with us a little bit, you know.
Sebastian enjoyed the first 2-week online classes, but did not sign the petition because he believes in the importance of in-person communication. Sebastian believes students should have the option to emerge a fully online environment if they're uncomfortable with in-person classes. At Cal State Fullerton, CSUF News, Gabriela Perez.
Thank you, Gabriela. And that concludes our show for today. Thank you, Titans, for watching. I'm Olivia Morales.
I'm Dominic Samaniego, and this is CSUF News.